Hello, hello. We are on some serious stuff today. Just because I'm making this video, I just want to forewarn you all, it's not because I expect to be gone anytime soon. It's just, there's a lot of stuff that I would hate to be unable to say if I was gone. You know? Okay, without that out of the way, let's jump into it. Like, it's weird making a video about when I'll be gone. I don't expect to be around forever, and what gone means to you could be very, very different. Maybe you're a friend of mine that, I lose touch with because of some reason. Maybe you're a family member of mine that I argue with, and, maybe I never talk to you again, or maybe I move away and it's difficult to talk to you. Maybe it's something like that. I don't know. I don't know what gone means to you. Maybe I'm permanently gone, Maybe something happens to me and I just don't recover and I'm not able to be there. I don't know. There's so many things it could be. There's so many reasons I could go away. But I want to be able to, talk to you and tell you the things that, are just important. If you're one of my friends who sees this video, and I do, by any chance, freaking disappear off the face of the planet, I want you to just make sure you're showing this video to the people around me. If you're some stranger out there, and you just enjoy my YouTube videos, for some godforsaken reason, well, I think this is important too. Because this is what I would want you to know. If it was the only thing I could tell you before I left, it's the number one thing I would want you to know. That's what this is. Maybe it's the three things, whatever. I'll talk until I have nothing left to say. I'm sure if you're close to me, you'll probably notice I really try to push you to do the things like your hobbies, what you're interested in, what you love doing. And I do that because that's what's going to matter to you for the rest of your life. And hey, maybe you end up hating your hobby someday. Maybe you won't enjoy it more. But I want you to figure that out now instead of later. But in the meantime, I really want you to just spend time doing the thing you love and not wasting that special connection you have with it. A lot of what I do, the reason I so fervently have just picked up and started working on my own hobbies and trying new things and just all of that, isn't just because of, me enjoying it. I think it's the best way for me to inspire other people to do those things. Because if you see me taking action, like writing something, or doing art, or even with my schoolwork, where I am just passionately dedicated to trying to get it done and finding an outcome that I'm satisfied with, then, that's meaningful. That's something that will, make an impact. At least I'd hope. Maybe it doesn't make an impact. Maybe I'm super wrong about that. Maybe you see the stuff I'm doing, maybe you don't even think like, I wish I could do that more. Maybe it doesn't matter to you at all. And that's okay too. But for the people that it does matter to, for the people who have art they're working on, or they have a hobby they love, or maybe it's schoolwork, or anything important to you that you need to do to just feel more satisfied down the road in life, I want you to feel encouraged and inspired to do that, and feel like it's the right thing to do. For example, I've started drawing more. I really wish I had done that when I was younger, but I didn't have those people around me who were really inspiring, and I wasn't in a great circumstance to do it anyways. I'm someone with ASD, or I believe it's autism spectrum disorder, formally diagnosed as Asperger's, and it was difficult. My parents had a very difficult situation going on, all four of them, and it's very complicated for them even now, and I had 11 younger siblings to worry about, and I wasn't going to just go and say Yeah, schoolwork, uh, having a job, all of that's secondary to the people around me. If the people around me needed me to have a job, I would do it in a heartbeat, you know? And I did do it. If the people around me needed me to know how to drive, I would figure that out too. If whatever it took. If my parents were arguing and they needed someone to just go and make them be quiet and have more of a reasonable discussion instead of yelling at each other, I would do that too. Because that's what matters to me. I'm not gonna go and just be like, yeah, all this stuff, you know, it's not that important. No, the number one most important thing to me was never going to be my own hobbies or my own schoolwork or my own success. None of that mattered to me, but now it does because I see that's linked together. The more happy I am, the more I do for myself, the more I try and focus on that side of me, the more I'm going to be able to enjoy my time with others, the more I'm going to be able to lead and inspire the people around me to just, enjoy their own lives more. I wanted to do art more when I was younger. It doesn't matter if I have aphantasia and I can't picture shit in my head. It doesn't matter. There's ways around it. I mean, drawing circles to see, joint movements and then connecting them with what I remember to be, the right motions. It's actually making it easier for me to draw, and I wasn't willing to figure that out when I was younger. I was too, worried about everything else in my life, and for something that I couldn't see immediate payoff on, and couldn't imagine myself having a successful career with, I was like, this is wasted time. It's not something that's helping me. I could spend this time with other people, But then I found myself just wasting time anyways. So I would end up feeling dissatisfied, wow, I'm ignoring my hobbies and the people around me and all of this other meaningful stuff I could be doing just to, I don't know, watch something that isn't meaningful to me in any way. Don't get me wrong, I love watching TV shows. I love watching YouTube. I really enjoy, dumb, goofy clips on Instagram. But if I'm going to watch that stuff, I'm going to watch it with a purpose, with the time limit in mind. Or if I'm not doing it with a time limit, I'm at least going to seek out some purpose for it. Oh, am I really stressed? Do I need something to de-stress? Is my hobby not doing it for me? Is it making me more stressed? Is spending time with people making me more stressed? Then maybe I'll go on a drive. Maybe I'll watch YouTube. Maybe I'll scroll on Instagram for a while. I don't know. But you see, that's just secondary. That's secondary to my hobby. Focus on your hobbies. Focus on yourself. Focus on the stuff that makes you feel important and valued. I suck at art. I really do. I'm not, the most talented person you're ever going to meet. I really have to struggle. I have to spend a lot of time just drawing what is very simple for most people. And maybe someday I'll get to a good level, but I'm just not there yet. But when I draw things that I find, hey, I can actually see the improvement. This isn't perfect. What I'm doing now isn't anywhere near perfect at all. But shit, man. It's something I love. It's something that's meaningful to me. I want you guys to do that too. When I'm gone, I don't want to have to, I can't be an example anymore. I can't be an example of someone who struggles through all of their own flaws and all of their self-dislike and all of this just jumbledness that is going around me. And, I'm not going to be able to give advice or say, yeah, what you're doing is awesome. I'm not going to be able to do that for other people. And I want to. I want to be able to do that so badly. I want to tell you that, I see your improvement. I can tell, you are doing things to improve your art, or you're doing things to improve your physical self. You maybe go work out at the gym, and, doing that, taking care of yourself like that, that's so important. That's so valuable. Maybe you're writing a book, and I'm sure as I say these things, you know who I'm frickin' talking about, man. when I say working out, there's only a few people I could even refer to about that. When I say, working on drawing more, or maybe like working on going to school right now, or maybe it's like writing poetry, writing that book. I probably said that a second time during that, but whatever, you get it. There's very specific people I'm talking to when I say these things. Maybe you're working on your painting. I doubt you'll ever see this, but like, you know who you are. I'll probably make another one of these videos eventually, too. Because what I think, what I believe, it's going to change over time. What I think is valuable advice to you all, what I think is the most important thing for you to know from me, it'll be different in 5-10 years. Whether it's more relationship focused, or if it's more like money focused, I don't frickin' know. I'm not gonna know until a while. Sorry, I keep touching my face. I know that'll bother some people, whatever. I'm a little nervous talking about this stuff. But all of that stuff, you need to be able to find value in that even when I'm not here. When I can't be around, even on a day-to-day basis, maybe I can only talk to you on a Saturday once a month, or I can only like go on a drive with you, or make a YouTube video once a month, or maybe if it's even once a week. Maybe I don't get to have those real talks with you, even though I spend time with you. It's that kind of stuff. Like, during those time frames, when I'm not there as much as I want to be, and I really do want to be there more, because you're all fantastic, amazing people, and you deserve the best. Seriously and truly. You really do deserve the best. Like, let that sink in. I'm here for that. And I always want to be here for that. But if I can't tell you that, hey, that book you want to write, Dan, it's gonna be freaking awesome. It's going to be amazing. And that novel series you're working on, it's going to be fantastic. And I think you should do that more. And sure, I have my Xbox Live party that I do sometimes. Just to, like, I know, you might be like, why don't you do Discord or something? But that's just where my friends are, so I'm going to be accommodating to them, you know? But when I'm doing my study sessions there, or when I'm working on my art there, or maybe when I eventually write that autobiography for practically no reason other than someone in a class of mine said, you should write one. And it's not for everyone. That autobiography, it's not going to be something that, like, I go and publish to the world. Unless, for some ungodly reason, people are like, you need to release this. But that's very unlikely. Worse than my drawing skills are my writing skills. Because, gosh, I cannot write in a way that keeps people entertained in the slightest. You might get through, like, oh gosh, 3 chapters of my book, maybe 30, 40 pages, and then you would go, wow, this guy's life is interesting. Too bad this writing is so awful and unappealing that I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyways. That crap's for me. It's not for you guys. Maybe it'll be better than I think, too. Maybe I'm underestimating myself, like I typically tend to do. I don't know. I really don't know. But when I have this party open and I spend that 2 hours, usually alone, just working on my own hobbies, away from everyone else, even though you're all invited to just sit in there and work on your hobbies, or maybe it's schoolwork, I want you to go and take that time and spend it writing your book, or Kenyon. I want you to do your art there. I don't want you to, spend too much time wanting to do art but not actually doing it. When you don't commit to the action, you're eventually going to associate that wanting with nothingness. You're going to feel want, and your brain is going to go, whatever, doesn't mean anything to me. I don't do anything with it. Throw it out. Why do I like drawing? Why does it matter to me? Why do I have this awesome drawing tablet? You know why. You absolutely 1,000,000% know why. Tina, like, when it comes to your schoolwork, I know you want to go and travel the world. And I know you want to go and just do photography. Like, hey, you can do that. You can honestly do that. You have the potential to do that. But you are just in a position right now where all you do is want, and it's starting to fade away. It's starting to become meaningless to you. I don't want that to happen. I can't help you with that, though. I can only tell you that, like, your photography is amazing and worth celebrating, and so is your passion. Because it is. It's really incredible. I want you to be able to get your degree, which you are so close to doing. And, you know, once you are in a more favorable position where you can actually go out and do stuff, I want you to be able to do that. I don't want you to be trapped. Because your dreams are worth celebrating. I know I cut off earlier on you, Dan, so I'll go back to you, but, like, your writing is something that is seriously just fantastic, and your ability to create these worlds and spend so much time thinking about them, and your passion for them, is just honestly incredible. You don't need me to come up with your good ideas. I know it's helpful to have someone else who's just like, yeah, I really enjoy working on writing, and I like hearing a good story, and someone who cares about your work like that. And, you know, I can't read Amaranth all the time. I can't go there and just read that. I don't have enough time in the world. I really wish I did. If I had more time, I would. And, you know, as I make more time, I will. That's one of my goals. I want to be able to be there and spend more time with each of you. But, hey, that's the point of this video. I'm not there right now. As much as I want to be, I'm not there. So please, 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 take your hobbies seriously. That's going to be what sticks with you through everything. When I'm gone, when your friends are gone, when your family members are gone, when you're alone, when you are just frustrated, when things aren't going well at all, when you're stuck and you're too poor to afford food even sometimes, or maybe, like, you are just stuck on a vacation and you don't want to be there, or you're in an environment where the people around you don't even want you to be celebrated for how hard you work. Even though you are trying so hard, and maybe you're working a full-time job and going to school, or maybe it's not even a full-time job. Doing both of those at the same time is really difficult. And it's something that deserves to be celebrated when you try that hard. And maybe you're even in clubs, or you're doing extracurricular activities outside of even work and school. You know, that you deserve to be celebrated. And you can celebrate that by working on your hobbies and taking time for yourself. So, do that. Do what you enjoy. Do what you love. You might not be able to make a career out of it for some things, but hey, working out, it's going to benefit you your whole life. If you love working out, go work out. If you like drawing, it allows you to express yourself better, because you're putting that stuff that's trapped inside of your head, and bam, you're making it a reality. You're making it tangible. For books, it's the same thing. For photography, maybe you use it to capture memories, or things that are important to you, or you're expressing something. It's easy for poetry. Poetry is a very, very direct form of self-expression. In most cases, maybe you write poetry about the environment and the world, and it's not focused on yourself, whatever. A lot of poetry is self-focused, though. If it isn't, that's fine. But you get my point. It's going to be there with you forever. Photography, yeah, it takes a camera. art, yeah, it can be expensive. Writing, yeah, it's time consuming. But spending even 15 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day on it, or maybe it's just a couple hours each week, and maybe you do 3 hours on one day, and then you don't do it for the rest of the week because you're too busy. Yeah, that kind of stuff, it might be difficult sometimes to like not be as successful as you want to be when you're working on something, but just acknowledge that whether or not you're being successful, you are expressing yourself in a very pure way, in a way that is special and unique to you, and it's not something that someone else can really take away from you as long as you're careful about it. Like, hey, that's beautiful. That's really beautiful. Maybe, for some of you, maybe it's even video games. Or maybe it's a podcast. I don't know. I don't know what your hobbies look like. I can't tell you what everything is going to look like in the world. But I can tell you that when I'm gone, you're gonna need to be able to do this stuff on your own. And yeah, this is an arrogant video. This is a very self-centered video. I'm assuming, really, that without me being around, some of your passions might fade and you might not take them as seriously. And I don't know. That might be true. It might not be true. I hope to God that is not true. I hope that if I died, if I was completely outside of your life, you would be totally self-sufficient without me around. If these were the last things I were ever to say to another person, that it wouldn't matter. Because you already do these things. You already care that much about yourself and your hobbies and doing something that's important and special to you. But there's a chance. There's a small chance that what I'm saying could be true, even if it was 1 in a million. I'm just spending 30 minutes, an hour of my day even, maybe, making a YouTube video, and maybe it impacts someone. Maybe it's not even my intended audience. Maybe you're someone who accidentally stumbles on this video, and you, for some reason, none of you watch my videos, none of you make it past, like, the 5-second mark. Not unless you know me directly, anyways. Like, gosh. Maybe you watch this and you decide, wow, this person's right. I deserve more time for myself. I deserve to celebrate myself and do things that are more special and important to me. That would be fantastic. I would love that. I would love that so, so much. So please, just really do that. For some reason, I've just come to this conclusion that I could really talk a lot faster, and a lot of you might be more entertained in these videos. So maybe I'll try and do that more. Maybe I'll try and talk at this pace. I don't know, maybe you like slow Caleb. Maybe you like this more urgent me. Because it is urgent stuff. It really is urgent. Celebrate yourself. Work on your hobbies. Work on yourself. Try and do the things you enjoy as much as you possibly can until, they're gone. Until they're totally gone. Work on those hobbies. Be you. Be awesome. Okay. You get the point. This is the really number one thing I wanted to talk about. That's it. I could end the video here. But there's one other really, really important thing I want to talk about, love people? Really? I really, really mean that? If you don't love people, if you don't take that seriously, and you don't care about the people around you, and you don't show them unconditional love, and you're mean to them for no reason, and you don't apologize for that, of course it's gonna hurt people. I really, really think you should always consider just what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. When you were talking to that person, maybe you escalated your tone too much. You can't control what the other person is going to do. And I'm never going to ask you to try and expect to be able to control other people. But I want you to be able to show them unconditional love and provide them with the information they need to make meaningful change in their own life. You can't force them to make the right decisions. Not in the slightest. If you do that, you aren't actually changing anything for the better, because then when you are gone, when you're out of there, it's not going to make a difference. When you disappear from their life, what you did, what you forced them to do, is going to disappear. And I really mean that. So try and make sure that the people around you really understand and know that, hey, maybe you shouldn't drink so much because it has these negative effects on you. And I'm going to love you regardless. I'm going to treat you as best as I can. But I just want you to know. I would be afraid to not tell you. I would hate myself if I didn't tell you. Tell people those things that you would hate if they didn't know. If you were gone tomorrow, would you be happy with the things you've told the people around you? Would you really be happy letting that person know that, or not letting a person know you loved them just so much and you appreciated their company so much, whether it's platonic or romantic? You know, you really need to let people know this stuff. I try to do that on a daily basis, and if I don't, I shouldn't say daily, because that's not entirely true. I have bad days too. I try to let people know as much as is reasonable. I don't want to smother you all with my ridiculous amount of, like, love for you all. I care about the people around me so much. And that's not an arrogance thing, okay? That's a 100% truth sort of thing. That's like, hey, you all are just the most meaningful people in my life, and I wouldn't know what to do without you all. Because we're kind of nothing without the people around us. It doesn't matter how good your art is or how good your anything is if, you know, you can't share it with other people. It doesn't matter if you were the most profound speaker in the world if no one ever hears your voice. That kind of stuff. Sure, art is meaningful on its own just because you're expressing yourself, and sure, you know, you can go and say things into the air like I'm doing right now and still have it be meaningful and impactful. But the only reason that it ends up being impactful, even if these words that I'm saying right now never reach a soul, is that I'm going to go to work tomorrow, and getting this off of my chest, and, you know, even if it's to no one, even if I'm the only one who ever hears these words, it allows me to go to work tomorrow and just see the world in a different way. And know that, hey, I need to focus up on what I'm doing. I need to spend more time being a better person to the people around me and showing them more love. Because what if I am gone tomorrow? What if I never get to tell that person I love them? What if I never get to tell that person how much, like, I worry about them and how much I think what, you know, they're doing could hurt them? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, you know, what someone is doing isn't actually harmful at all, and it's never going to hurt someone, and it won't make a difference in how they operate on a day-to-day basis. It doesn't matter. If it's something I would regret not being able to tell you, then I'm gonna say it. And this kind of direction, this kind of speech here, this kind of navigation through my own life, it's taking these steps that force me to be more open about myself and more open about the people I care about, that allow me to go and say these things and be more open outside of it. This YouTube video, regardless of whether anyone hears it, is that gateway. It's that first step. It's gonna be like that with a lot of things. where you need to take that first step. You can't always expect the people around you to take the first step. I really think that's it. Just focus on your hobbies. They're important. Focus on yourself, you know. The more you do that, the more you're going to be able to be positive around other people. The second thing is just don't regret not telling someone something. You have words that are worth hearing. Don't regret not doing something. You know, if you're gonna worry about, why you didn't donate to that hunger relief fund or the global warming fund or whatever it is, I don't know. I don't care. I do care, but you get what I mean. I don't care what it is. I just care that you're doing it. I want you to do those things. I don't want you to regret not doing them. And of course, you could say, well, I'm gonna be dead, Caleb. I'm not gonna regret anything. Well, no, duh. But there is regret in living the next day. Maybe you don't die tomorrow. Maybe you don't die now. But, hey, you're gonna regret not doing that tomorrow, and maybe the week after that, and maybe it sticks with you for a month. Maybe it sticks with you for a year. I don't know how long your regrets stick with you. That's up to you. Worse than passing away and not doing something is not doing something and being alive, because you will see the effects of not doing that thing. That's my message to you. That's what I want you to know without a shadow of a doubt. Doing something isn't a problem. It's not doing something that leads to bigger issues. And always make sure it's out of a place of love. And always be sure you are willing to listen to the other person. If you are just blabbering on and on and on, and you just don't care what the other person has to say, you are going to be hurting them in more ways than you could possibly imagine. Because if you think what that person is doing is wrong, such as, I don't know, maybe being born a certain way, or not understanding a hobby of theirs, and you just say, well, I don't like your hobby, which is fine on its own. Or, I don't like the way you live, which, judgmental, yeah. But maybe there's something that justifies what you're saying. But if you don't listen to the other person and why they are that way and what it makes them feel when they are that way or when they do that thing, and there's no other substitutes for that thing, then you might slowly start to understand that what they're doing isn't entirely wrong, and you can get a better appreciation of that person and a deeper and more meaningful connection with them because you were honest about what you felt and what questions you had and what problems you had. You just need to be honest and you need to listen. Okay? Okay. Thank you. I've had enough of my rant. My little tirade there. I really appreciate all of you who, for some reason, watch this much. Go ahead. Argue with me if you want to in the comments. Subscribe. I don't care. Like the video. Whatever. Just know, when I'm gone, I want you to do things that make you more understanding of yourself and the people around you. That's the core of it. I love y'all. Have a good one. Bye-bye.